Growing up, I'm always a high achiever. I always try to excel in everything I do, and I don't allow myself to rest even when I feel tired because I feel like I'm falling behind. I actually try all the cliche advice. I try waking up at 5 a.m., taking a cold shower, hitting the gym, and studying, working on my random side hustle. I try to fit everything in the morning before everyone else wake up so I can have a head start. And eventually when I achieve all the goals that I set for myself, I always feel empty in the end. There's always this void that I feel like I need to fill, like I'm never enough. One day I started to realize I wasn't chasing my own goals. I was chasing a version of myself that was shaped by everything I consume online. That's actually why I made this video, to talk about something I wish I understood earlier. Because as high achievers, we often don't talk about this enough. We often fall into the trap of over-optimization, thinking that if we just keep improving ourselves, our life will eventually become better, but that's not true. This kind of mindset actually does more harm than good. It just quietly drains your mental health, and you just constantly feel like you're not good enough for anything. Self-improvement is a continuous and intentional process of improving your own knowledge, your skill, your character, and overall well-being. It is a self-directed effort to achieve some form of success in life. Self-improvement is not a modern concept. The idea of self-growth can actually trace back to ancient philosophers that introduces this concept during their time. Aristotle, for example, championed the idea of eudaimonia. It means humans should strive to live up to their full potential through rational and virtuous action to live a good life. Marcus Aurelius, on the other hand, focuses on building emotional resilience through mastering your perceptions and practicing self-discipline to achieve personal growth. Similarly, Socrates sees the pursuit of knowledge as the ultimate purpose of human life, and he believed that continuous self-reflection is the only path to achieve excellence and inner harmony. Ever since the rise of social media, self-improvement has taken on a completely different meaning. It has completely lost touch with the original concept of personal growth, where it's supposed to be about looking inward to reflect on your own weaknesses, understanding yourself better, and gradually becoming a better version of who you already are. But today, self-improvement has increasingly been reduced to a set of measurable KPIs, like how much money you save for retirement, how many properties you own, how many books you have read this year, how many sports you play, or how productive your morning routine is. It just turned life into a competition with people you never even met before, and suddenly everything you do in life is a metric that needs to be measured, tracked, and optimized. Success is no longer something you define for yourself. It's defined by the content you consume through your feed. And in many ways, self-improvement has turned into a toxic rat race. Every day we are shown entrepreneurs making millions before they are 30 years old, athletes with perfect physiques, productivity gurus who wake up at 5 a.m. and financial influencer who claims that they cracked the code to financial freedom. The message they show you is always the same. You can achieve all of this too. All you need is their 10-step strategy, their life-changing framework, their 7-day courses that they promise to transform your life. These ideas are appealing because they offer a simple solution to a complicated problem. And that's exactly why the self-improvement industry has become such a massive business. Research estimates that the global self-improvement market worth around $48 billion in 2024 and is projected to grow to over $67 billion by 2030. The industry thrives because it sells you the idea that every problem in your life has a solution, and that solution is always just one purchase, one course, or one framework away. What makes this culture particularly harmful is that it often profits from making people feel like they are not enough. You are told that if you are not constantly optimizing your skills, your body, your finances, or your career, you are falling behind. If you don't have a side hustle after your 9 to 5, you will be stuck in the middle class and become a corporate slave forever. If you rest too much, you are wasting time. If you're satisfied with where you are right now, you lack ambition. Instead of helping people live better lives, self-improvements start to feel like a constant reminder that you are never good enough. The more you consume this self-improvement content, the more you discover that there's something wrong with your lifestyle and you need to fix it. So you consume more. You try to find that one video or article that can fix your life in 10 minutes, and the vicious cycle just continues. The actions that you do reinforces the idea that there's something fundamentally wrong with you and there's always something that needed to be fixed. It's easy to think that you are improving by just watching multiple videos and read multiple articles. Because when you watch a video or you read an article, you feel like you learned something. So your brain receives a hit of dopamine. And this is how your brain tricks you into thinking that you are actually doing the work without you actually taking any action. Therefore, in reality, this self-improvement content are pointless if you just endlessly consume content without ever putting the lessons into practice. Productivity culture has conditioned us to think that we must make the most out of our every waking hour. We must always be building something, we must always be making money, always optimizing our skills, we must always learn something new. But we have forgotten that sometimes it's okay to just simply be present and enjoy the life that we have already built. Because growth and progress doesn't always look like hustling. Sometimes growth calls for rest too. So I feel like we have to remind ourselves that not every book we read or every video we watch must teach us a lesson. Sometimes it's enough to just simply consume for pleasure, to read a book for fun, to watch a brain rot video to de-stress. We don't need to beat ourselves up for enjoying life, and I feel like time is not wasted if you truly enjoy it. Being hyper-obsessed with self-improvement can sometimes also means sacrificing your social life. When all your time is revolving around building an optimal life for yourself, do you even still have time left for your family or friends? There are many times my friends ask me to hang out, but I always turn them down because I wanted to spend my precious weekends working on something productive. And it wasn't just once. I have rejected their invitation so many times that they have stopped asking altogether. And I always thought I could catch up with them later on, but I never did because I always have excuses of wanting to work on some personal project or something else more important to do. But I forgot that relationships are not static. They require effort to maintain. And when you don't make the effort to spend time with the people you care about, you eventually lose the connection with them. I learned this the hard way as I grow older. I dedicated most of my weekends to building the life I wanted, but at the cost of not being able to build any deep relationship with the people around me. I started feeling distant from my family. I've lost contact with some of my friends because we no longer have much in common to talk about. So I feel like while working on yourself is important, it's also equally important to not neglect the relationships in your life. Because in the end, when you finally achieve the success that you wanted, you realize when you look behind, there's no one there to share the joy with you. Another problem with self-improvement culture is that it's built around what I call a maximizer mindset. It pushes you to make the absolute best choice all the time. It tells you that you can become anything as long as you grind hard enough. But having limitless potential can actually be a nightmare. This is known as the paradox of choice. Sometimes having too many options can lead to anxiety, indecision, dissatisfaction rather than freedom and happiness. When you're constantly exposed to other people's morning routines, diets, career, business ideas, productivity hacks, it's easy to get stuck in a never-ending cycle of researching and comparing. Because there are just so many optimal ways to live. Every path you choose can start to feel like the wrong path because of the 1,000 other paths that you didn't choose. I truly believe that everyone's path is different and each person has their own path to walk. But when you try to be everything and you try to walk every path, you will eventually lose the energy to walk any path at all. If you let other people set the standard for you, you'll never feel good enough because you are constantly comparing yourself to someone else's version of success. That's why we have to really take the time, sit down and ask ourselves, what do I actually desire? What is my version of success? What do I actually want to achieve in this life? Once you identify goals that are actually genuinely aligned with your personal strength and desire, you realize that there's no need to compare yourself to anyone else anymore, because there's no one else as unique as you are. No one has the same strengths or same weakness or same life experience as you. And when you stop trying to prove yourself to others, growth will start to become more organic and more meaningful. The emptiness will always be there no matter how hard you try to optimize or fix yourself if you never learn to embrace who you already are. I think a lot of us spend years believing that happiness, confidence, fulfillment, or self-worth exists somewhere in the future. Maybe we'll feel enough when we finally get the promotion, when we build the business, or when we achieve the goal we've been obsessing over. But every time we reach one milestone, another one just appears. The finish line just keeps moving. It never stops. And that's why so many people end up feeling empty even after getting everything they thought they wanted. Because what they're actually searching for was never external validation, it was self-acceptance. Self-improvement and self-growth are important parts of becoming a better version of ourselves. But self-growth is not a linear journey. You never really know what's waiting for you around the corner. That's why there's no single right or wrong path. You don't need to follow other people's path to be successful. Just commit to your own path. Grow at your own pace. Just ignore the noise from the outside and allow yourself to make mistakes. Just have fun. Not everything you do in life has to be productive or transform your life, because life is just too short. And that's it for today's video. Thanks for hanging out with me. Goodbye and have a nice day.